Yeah, no, I wanted to say, Potts, and to my fellow panelists, it's first and foremost, good to see you all. LB, I sang to you early in the season. It was one of my favorite Boys to Men tune. It was called End of the Road. Yeah. And I actually said that you belong to me and I belong to you. Mate, after that, mate, we saw your team lose 9 games this season. And I had the unfortunate situation where I had to sit down and listen to you drone on about how your club was going to be back and how you were going to win the FA Cup. But you can't beat Southampton, blood. And then your team put up that pathetic performance against Crystal Palace. So in the end, I asked you a legitimate question. Should Spurs win the Europa League, who would have the better season? Well, it looks like my club. You're here languishing and hoping you will get a Champions League spot. LB, welcome to my side of the fence, mate. Welcome to the mud. Where was all that bum shaking? Where was your club? Mate, we weren't going to win the league this season, but we know we're going to win a trophy. Shut your mouth. I told you Pep is done. What say you now? What happened to your manager? Did he give it over to the Eagles? Did he not want to win? What happened to your trophy, blood? Yes, LB, welcome to a season where you were trophyless. Welcome. As for everyone on the panel, and let me tell you about your guy, Mamouche, yeah? Well, it's a Lebanese restaurant in Park Royal, bruv. Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. Yeah, Mamouche, Lebanese restaurant in Park Royal. It's bloody good. Yeah? Where was it? You were taking your bum where we got this player, we got that player. Where were they? Yeah? You got popped. You got whacked up by Palace. Yeah? That's what happened. LB, don't ever talk to me again. That's why you don't invite me to your show. Don't ever talk to me again. You are rubbish. Titanic. Crap. That's why I called you Plymouth Argyle, bruv. What is the difference between you and Plymouth? The difference is you're on here because of your ownness. It would have been another fella. That is the truth. It would have been another fella, mate. You're on air you're on air by chance. That is the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. Let me tell you now, you're done. It was the end of the road earlier. It's the end of the road now. I told you, and let me tell you why I'm so pissed off with you, LB. I said I saw cracks in your team, and you poo-pooed it like I was talking nonsense. In fact, you treated me like I was delusional. Who is delusional now? Did you think you were going to beat Palace? I warned you. How comes I saw what you didn't? Yeah, your manager getting vexed. Let me tell you now, peeps. City, Plymouth is done. Your guy Pep, done. I told you, he's come to the end of his cycle. You can hold that, and hold that.
Deji, big up to you, bro. Look, before I bring LB back in, because he's clearly going to have something to say on that. Wolfie, what you got for LB, man? Because, LB likes to cook, and now it's our time to cook. He's cooked Arsenal enough times, cooked Forest enough times. City finally going to finish in a position they really did not expect at the start of this season. Talk to me, Wolfie.
I mean, it's hard to argue what Deji said. He's just spitted facts everywhere. LB was there telling me after they knocked us out the semis that they've won it. They roll over Crystal Palace, that this trophy saves their season, that they spent in January. Let's not forget they spent in January to try and salvage their season. 200 odd million to salvage your season. Get receipts, man. Because you took one of my Arab brothers, man, Omar Marmoush, and your boy 007 Hoyland, might as well be Hoyland, might as well be Hoyland, didn't have the balls to take the penalty. Everyone's there thinking it's instructions from Pep. No, it's 007. He's too scared to shoot and gives it to an Arab, man? What was he thinking, man? Deji saying Park Royal. I say, yeah, he's been downgraded to Park Royal because the proper Arabs would be on Edgware Road, mate. Not on Park Royal, man.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the thing here. And to give it to Marmoush, man, and you just know a man who does a straight run up to start with isn't scoring a penalty. And then to sit there and try and blame Dean Henderson for all the problems, like it's Dean Henderson's fault he didn't get sent off. You couldn't create anything, man. It was sideways, sideways, sideways. Kevin De Bruyne, man, you should have retired him last year. He is done. That was one of the worst passing performances I've seen, man. Atrocious. Atrocious. The fact is, they tell us they're relying on Rodri, man. When what you've been relying on in the last 2 to 3 months is the Chelsea reject who has held your midfield together. And yet again, you lose a player and we see the cracks come through, man. You said here last week, I said to you, you must, not just for your sake, for the sake of the teams around us, even though we wanted Palace to win. And you said, I said, yeah, it's done. It's done. He is done. Pep, I can't argue Deji because the facts present themselves and logic has to dictate that Pep is done. And how he recovers from this, oh, let's just pull out the checkbook. Let's sign another, 200 players. Let's get another 115 charges because we'll just brown envelope the league. They won't pull us up for all the allegations, allegedly, of course. What happens next? What happens next? Liverpool are going to strengthen. Newcastle are going to strengthen. Chelsea are going to strengthen. Arsenal are going to strengthen. Forest are going to strengthen. Spurs will still be shit. But next season, how the hell are you going to win this league with this manager who is spent?
Wow. Listen, Errol, I want to bring you in because you've been smiling. You must like the fact that City have not had the best of seasons. I mean, they've caused you and me some pain in the last few years. You more than me, to be fair. But talk to me, bro, and then I'll bring LB in. What are you saying?
Lewis. First names, government names. Just have to address it. Because you know why? Do you know what it is, yeah? You've always been able to stand tall on this show. Stick your chest out and let people know what time it is when it comes to the football hierarchy. And this season, you've lost one cog and the whole thing broke away. Now, I hate to be that guy to kind of ramble on about times of past, but I remember when my team, my club, had issues defensively, and we lost a Van Dijk, we lost a Matip, we lost a Gomez. We practically had lost the entire back forward at one point, and we still, in that season, ended up qualifying for Europe with almost over a game to spare. City are hanging on by a thread. And to compound that pain that you're probably feeling from a dreadful league season, you had one chance in the cup and you couldn't do anything. You give. And I know my team didn't turn up in a cup final in Wembley this season, so I know how it can happen. But Newcastle, which is a team that you shake your pom-poms for on a regular basis on this show, telling me how brilliant they are, that they should be challenging for the Premier League. We're equal to taking Liverpool's title that day. They beat us for the League Cup. That's fine. Crystal Palace have never won a trophy ever. And you went and gave them their first. You and the incredible Manchester City team with the best ever manager in Pep Guardiola have given them their first ever trophy. And what I think is the biggest thing this year is you have been found out, lad. Glasner sticking out his chest in an interview, turning around saying, boy, Pep, if you run that system again next 6 months' time, we'll work it out. It's light work. You've got managers like Glasner who haven't even been in the door for 5 minutes telling your manager, whatever you do, it's light work and we will figure a way around it because you aren't that team anymore. And you know how long I've waited? And I've said it a couple of times with Potts and with us. A couple of seasons ago, Potts was the frightening team. Boy, Arsenal look like they can play anybody off the park. You need to be careful with them. City have been that constant. Teams, before they get out on the pitch, know more often than not City have got their number and you've probably been beat. That shield, that armour that you've had wrapped around you for a number of years now, that season when it fell away for Liverpool in the end, the legs fell out of our midfield and everybody smelled blood in the water. That is where you're currently at right now. And I'm not saying for 1 minute that City will not bounce back in the next 6 to 8 months. But while this is the lowest that you've had for a minute, Lewis, I am going to love every single second of it. Because, brother, you should be doing better, and you know you should be doing better. You've got higher standards for your team. And the last thing I will say on it is the rebuild, bruv. It's not looking easy. That rebuild is going to be a big job. I'm talking you need fullbacks. I reckon you need wingers. You need somebody else alongside Haaland that can do a job. Haaland skirking away. When would you ever see Cristiano Ronaldo looking to give a penalty? When would you see Bruno Fernandes looking to give away a penalty to somebody else? It just wouldn't happen. Your good man is a good man for a reason. And he said, nah, I'm going to put the gun down. No violence. I'm sorry, because that is not an equal or a fair representation of the club that you so adamantly and have that action towards all of us saying how great you are. They have let you down massively this season, and I don't think the climb back to bridge that gap is an easy one by any stretch of the imagination. And finally, Lewis, I hate to be the one, but I feel like if anybody should be the one to say it, it should be me. Hold that. Fucking frauds.
Errol, have you noticed he can't even sit up? He's like hiding even from the screen, man. Sit up a little, LB, man. Show some chest.
Do you know what? It's mad. We've got over 800 people in here. Make sure you hit the likes and subscribe, people. Make sure you're following every single one of these people as well. Look, LB, it's only right for me to allow you to comment because there's quite a lot there. I'd like to allow you to answer, Deji, Wolfie, and Errol that have, gone in on your club and your manager and yourself. So the mic is yours, bro.
Listen, first of all, I'll start off with Errol. I can accept Errol's criticism because my team has bullied his team for the last 7 years, made his greatest ever Premier League side almost irrelevant, and caused this guy nightmares. So I can accept a little bit of criticism from Errol, and that's fine. I find it quite amusing that the two most irrelevant teams on this panel have so much chest to say to my football club. Two teams that are good for absolutely nothing, other than laughing and joking. Both teams are bottlers. You've seen Forest bottle potentially getting top 4 this year. Spurs are just a complete laughing stock, and both of these two guys have chest. Respect to Pete, Carabao Cup winners, sitting there, waiting for his turn. I'll take the criticism from Pete later. Don't worry about it. I see the respect. From Pete. Charlie, I see it, bro. Champions League winner a few years ago. I hear it, man. Going through some pain. Respect. And Dan, my fellow Mancunian, Like, respect to that as well. Yeah, the two most pointless people on this panel, Wolfie and Deji, have the most to say. Why? Because nothing is going on in their lives right now in football. Not personally. I'm not getting personal here. Football-wise, for them to get their chests out. We all know that Spurs are going to get absolutely cooked in the Europa League final. So Deji's just getting the pre-cooking in now, because when he comes on the show after Europa League final, he will be getting absolutely rinsed because his team wins absolutely nothing. We all know that's a formality. And as for Wolfie, his team's had a good year, but everyone's going to raid your team. You have no players left, and you'll be probably in the bottom half of the table next year as well. So enjoy your 5 minutes of fame, mate. Yeah, it's been good to have you on the show, but next year, it's probably.
Can I say something there quick, LB? Just again, this isn't not necessarily a criticism, but it goes back to the conversations we had at the start of the season in January. When the transfer window was open, a lot of you lads around this panel beat my team over the head with a stick about Liverpool not capitalising and Liverpool not doing business and not being serious. But Wolfie made an excellent point in the fact that you spent 200 mil and you haven't even managed to be able to solve
it. It was 175, so we can't just be adding 25 million.
Okay. All right, then.
Bit fraudulent.
Well, no, you're right. Who am I to, Don't spend a penny, but 175 M's was spent in January in the pursuit of rescuing and salvaging a season. You didn't even get Kvaratskhelia. None of us did, and he was the one. He was the market opportunity for any of our clubs around this panel. None of us got him. You spent 175 mil, and you still might not even get Champions League footy. and there's no silverware. You have to answer to forget the cooking, forget the roasting. You have to answer to that as an absolute failure. There's no two ways about it, because my team didn't spend a penny, and we rocking VVS's right now.
Yeah, for real.
It'd be an absolute failure.
And can I just say, like, the cheek of you to try and pick on me and Deji is like a big mistake, bro. Like, seriously. Because both our clubs were established before 2008. I get you're doing this whole recency bias thing. Both our clubs can sell out our allocations when we go to Wembley, when they go to the Europa League final in Spain on Wednesday. They're not going to have to fly in the sheikhs over
Wolfie,
from the Middle East to try and fill it up, right? We get that. We get that. But for you to come and talk about recency bias,
once it was your big day out, mate.
for you to talk about recency bias when your club's only existed since 2008, where your club has over 115 charges to the name, where your club is flying out my Arab brothers.
You are the team that's guilty on this panel, though, right? Out of everybody on this panel,
not true. Not true. I got a speeding ticket. Speeding ticket. I don't go to jail. You don't go to jail for a speeding ticket.
You are convicted criminals. You're the only.
No, you don't go to jail for a speeding ticket. It doesn't have to go on my CV.
You are the only convicted criminals on this panel. As of right now, you are the
lies,
only convicted.
speeding
not lies,
tickets.
Not lies. It's not lies. You are a criminal. You are the only criminal on this panel.
Speeding tickets.
What silverware did you win? So actually, yeah, you're criminal. And you
because again, LB, you seem to think football started in 2008. Well, I've got double your Champions Leagues, right? I've got more heritage than you've got. Deji's got more heritage than you got with his club as well.
Mint. Enjoy that.
So you stick to your recency bias. They're going to a final on Wednesday.
No, you stick
you
to that.
Did. You're not
winning trophies in the 60s and 70s. Good on you. Go on to Wolfie.
Yeah, football starts 2008. Yeah, 2008. Plymouth Argyle have been more established longer than you have.
I'd rather watch my team win trophies now than have something that won before I was even born. So you have those trophies that will win when the fucking war was going on. Yeah, I'll have mine that's going on right now. Yeah, I'll enjoy that. Yeah, and for you, Deji, have you even won anything, mate? I will talk you. I genuinely don't have a clue if you've actually won.
He won something the year you were established.
I don't even know. Did it? Oh, I don't even know, bro, because you sacked your managers before. I'm just surprised.
He's got an Audi Cup. They got an Audi Cup.
Oh, the Audi Cup. That's right, Charlie.
Charlie, if I were you, I'd be very careful. I just want to say to LB, I'm not going to have you on this channel poo-poo history and the ancestors. I'm not going to have that, because, you know, Spurs and a number of the clubs on this panel made the Premier League what it is today. Why you're enjoying what you so-called enjoy. But you said, why do I have a... Let me tell you why
when it was the Big Four, even 15 years ago, bro, you still were irrelevant 15 years ago. When it was
you didn't exist 15 years ago, LB. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because Deji's getting involved acting as if he's like one of the big clubs, bro. When it was the Super League, and when the Super League came out and Spurs were invited, everybody across Europe went, what the hell are Spurs doing in the Super League? You've never been relevant. You weren't relevant 15 years ago, and you're not relevant now. You're just irrelevant.
When you were doing the 4P, when you were winning titles, you were still my club's whipping boys. Yeah, that is the truth.
That is the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard anybody say in my life. When we was winning titles, you were still.
No, don't worry.
That is embarrassing, mate.
Let me finish.
Embarrassing.
Let me finish. And Dan, I don't know whether we need to do a special dispensation for LB for this show next season. I'm ready to put the gauntlet out and say, if City or Plymouth doesn't get the Champions League, you're not invited back. Since you want to hold standards for your club, since you're the mighty City, if you don't get in the Prem, bruv, you shouldn't be allowed back on this show. We should have a separate show for you and your best mate Lawless. Yes. High, we call that show High and Mighty. Yes, High and Mighty. You and your boy Lawless, where you can talk about yesteryear. Yeah, how about that?